You're looking at it now. NASA has led people to believe that the moon is a rock, that the moon is in charge of when the tide comes in or goes out. The only issue with that is when the moon comes up, it's exponentially larger.
Here you'll find out that Richie doesn't know what the fuck exponential means. No, the moon does not get exponentially bigger or smaller. The moon is tied to the tides. But it's more because the Earth spins and the moon is also there that the tides, happen as they do. So it's a combination of the two, but the moon is a major part of like waves and tides and all that. The moon's gravity pulls on the water as the Earth spins around. That's what happens. He of course doesn't believe in gravity, so I don't know what he thinks causes the tides other than the fact that, oh fuck, they just happen. He's not actually going to be able to explain the tides without invoking some kind of magical property.
As it goes up in the sky, it gets smaller. And as it begins to turn into what appears to be a solid, it gets brighter and it goes from red to white.
Because it's reflecting more of the sun's light. Because right now it's not. And then when it gets higher in the sky, it is. And the atmosphere is not refracting as much light, not scattering all that red part of the spectrum. I fucking can't with this motherfucker right here. This is the guy that believes that like fucking Anubis has been cloned beneath like major cities and shit. I don't know. It's in another video that I've done.
And when it does that, it gets much colder out. But also notice there's clouds behind the moon. But I digress.
No, there's no clouds behind the moon. That's dumb as fuck.
Like I said, ancient texts talk about this. The Book of Enoch and the courses of the heavenly illuminaries. I'll leave links in the description.
Okay, for one thing, it's not illuminaries, it's just luminaries. So this is where they appeal to tradition, and it's a much older tradition than normally people appeal to. They appeal to the tradition of people before, the Common Era, BCE time frame. So they'll appeal to the Bible, the Old Testament specifically. They'll appeal to old civilizations because they feel like these people are farther removed from this Illuminati New World Order sort of system that they think is actually going on. They appeal to them because they agree with their position that the Earth is flat and that there aren't any planets and all this other stuff. Before people even recognized what these like moving stars were in the sky being planets, they appeal to those people because they feel like they're more correct. And it's just backwards ass thinking, really.
Explains what Enoch was seeing. He saw 6 portals in which the sun rises and 6 portals in which the sun sets. And the moon rises and sets in these portals.
There are 6 portals positioned all across this flat Earth, and the sun rises and sets in each portal as well as the moon. When the sun sets in one portal, the moon rises in the opposite portal. So what I think happens is that the sun dips itself into the portal and it becomes a cooling light and it emerges from the opposite end of the portal and then boom, there's the moon. But does this mean that there are 6 different fucking moons that go in each portal? Is one moon and one sun tied to each portal pair? How the fuck do these portals work, Richie? We gotta know.
And the leaders of the stars and those whom they lead, 6 in the east, 6 in the west, and this goes on and on and on and on. I'm not going to read all this to you because there's another channel that does that for you. I'm not it. Do you see what I'm saying? If there's portals, then it appears I witnessed it coming out of the portal that's at the edge of the Atlantic Ocean.
There's a portal at the edge of the Atlantic Ocean, guys. I don't know if you knew this, but at the edge of the Atlantic, there's a portal in which the moon traverses. I don't know where the fuck this portal is. I don't know why you guys on the other side of Richie, in like, I guess, I don't know, fuck, would that be like Africa, France, Portugal, the United Kingdom? Where is this portal at exactly, Richie?
Well, it appears that I also caught it coming out of another portal in the mountains of Arizona. Now, this was footage I got at the San Catalina mountain range.
So there's a portal at the other end of the Atlantic Ocean, while at the same time, there is another portal in the mountains, wherever the fuck he is.
What?
And the moon rises out of both of these portals at the same time. There are two separate moons on this flat Earth.
What?
Yeah, that's the only way that I can make any sense of this.
And the moon is coming right up over the mountains. See how far off it is? So I zoom in on it, and strangely, it's enormous, first of all. As soon as it comes up, it's enormous, and the outside of it, once again, is doing the exact same thing.
Because there's still a fucking atmosphere wherever you're at on the Earth. There is no place on the Earth where atmosphere doesn't exist, and atmospheric refraction is not going to affect you looking at the moon. God damn, Richie.
It appears that it's turning from a plasma, a red, hot plasma, into a solid white light source.
A red hot plasma, honey. Like, plasma is pretty fucking hot, you know? It's really, really far out there hot. So, I mean, like, if it was plasma, then you would have nuclear fusion going on. You would have a lot of light being produced, like more light than what this thing is. And also, the reason why light, when it hits something, it gives off energy is because light is energy. And when it is absorbed into something, that energy has to go somewhere, and so it becomes heat energy. That's what happens when light is stopped by something. That's why it doesn't make sense that the moon having a cooling effect is a thing, because the light, no matter what, when it hits something and that something absorbs that light, the light is transferred into heat energy. Of course, some of the light is reflected off of it, so not all of it's transferred to heat energy. But I mean, that's a very basic top level of like technical why this cooling light can exist.